All right, here we go. We're going to get some replay review in. This is a twos game. We have Daddy J and Flying High against Sammy Needs and Stokes. All these players are like Diamond 2s and Diamond 3s. Let's get after it. It's kind of loud. Better. All right, going for boost there. I like that. One thing you can do to make it go to get there a little faster, use Power Slide here to make your turn a little tighter, and then you can flip to this first boost, and when you're flipping, kind of get airborne and turn your nose back up field, so you kind of land in that exact position. The thing I don't like about this is you can see how much your momentum is carrying you upfield. Like you're going upfield a lot right there. If Flying High loses that in such a way that it goes pretty much straight on net, you're not going to have time to turn back and get that. So the strat I kind of described where you take a sharp turn and then flip, it kind of gets you stopped facing up field, so you can use that boost and pick up this 12 right here to get yourself going and still have full close to full boost, and it allows you to get back on defense if that kickoff kind of goes haywire. I don't really know what that was. I think it was just kind of a mess up. So we'll just kind of disregard that. But good touch to yourself. Froze the goalie. I like that. Good start. All right, so I think your opponent kind of forgot to go here. Not the optimal kickoff. To be honest with you, in Champ, I still do it sometimes anyway if I'm not feeling confident. But get more confident. Even just getting a flip in here. Learning fast kickoff would be something that would be useful as you climb up in rank. But to be completely honest, I kind of stick with a bot kickoff if I don't quite have my opponent figured out yet. The good news is you're at least dodging to the side you want to spill the ball to. So you're doing a good job of that. Let's look at Flying High's perspective right there, because that looked a little weird. Okay, yeah, so, I mean, in my opinion, you can either cheat or you can go to the corner 100. Sitting on the goal line doesn't really do much for me. Especially in a situation like this, you're kind of, at this point, you're sitting at like the front of the goalie box. So that's almost in no man's land. Sammy Needs gets a big boomer, and you decide to back up there, which it wasn't a great shot, but if you're gonna be here, you've got to be ready to go up for any ball that's coming on. Like you should have. I mean, it would be a tough pre-jump, honestly. But maybe probably as soon as you realize that you're not going to be able to challenge that ball and Sammy's getting to it first, just taking a quick turn and getting back post to be able to clear any ball. Because that's not really the play, unfortunately, but you made it work. Another thing from Daddy's perspective, we went back a little too far. Yeah, here, like, you got to know that you're not making a play on this ball. So, like, I wouldn't dive in at this angle. If anything, I'm just going to rotate behind Flying High to support there, because by doing this, you get yourself out of the play. A better player on orange would have been able to send this ball from Flying High back in, and you're not in a good position to defend it. So instead of trying to make a play on a ball that you weren't going to touch, I would have instead just put yourself in a better defensive position. That's a good win there by Flying High. I kind of like the bump. Let's see it from his perspective. He's really looking to pass here. Well, actually, that was a great read. Okay, so more often than not, that ball's not bouncing in, and Flying High is going to go up the wall and try to center that into you. The only time I really like to go for a bump in this situation is if I'm pushed farther up and I'm not really in a good spot to put in a centered ball. Had this ball taken a normal bounce, I think Flying High would have been able to center it towards you. And if you go for the demo here, you wouldn't have been able to put it in. It just kind of took that awkward bounce, and Flying High almost got a touch on goal there. So it almost worked for us. Wow. Yeah, I would, since I know the goaltender doesn't have momentum, I know he's not going to be able to make a play on the left post there. So just bang that left post. It worked out for you. Great read. Good dunk. But I would have tried to put that left post. All right. So here, you weren't able to make this play because you stopped. I think you were trying to decide whether or not to challenge. You had a lot of distance to cover, so you would have had to calculate that angle and like aerialed kind of like halfway between the ball and the goal. So that would have been a tough play. So I don't think you were wrong to not challenge. But you were wrong to stop your momentum entirely. So you kind of hit the brake there for a second, and that's what causes you to not be able to get to that ball. So just go straight to a good defensive position and be ready to play any ball. Try not to hit your brake there. Okay. Good win. Again, I would just encourage you to practice a couple different kickoffs. It probably works for you at this level, honestly. But just kind of something in the future to think about. Good positioning there. You're putting yourself in a good position to both play a center and a touch by Sammy if he wins the 50, which he does. That's all right. You guys kind of doubled there, but it worked out. Good control here. Let's back this up a little. Yeah, I mean, Flying High was already bailing, so you're probably free to try to win this 50 here. It would be tough because Sammy's already going up. But just be aware of your teammates, because you know if he's already retreating, that gives you the ability to go ahead and challenge and try to keep this in the offensive zone. He doesn't get a great touch there, and you touched it away, so that's fine. I like that touch. So a thing that I think would be useful for you, just getting into free play and just hitting the ball around as fast as you can to try to figure out how to read those balls that are weird on like walls or corners and stuff. Because you can kind of tell you hesitate here. You wait for the ball to bounce, and then you wait to read it and then go. Stokes did a good job of knowing what the ball was going to do off the wall, so he was able to challenge it sooner. So if you can just get more practice in and being more confident, anticipating where the ball's going to be off those bounces, like off the ground or off the ceiling or off the wall, that will allow you to challenge a little faster. Good, putting yourself in a good position. Just a mistouch there. So again, just time in training packs or free play, getting used to this touch where you get behind, power slide around, and then boom it. Again, make sure you're aware of where your teammates are. Right here, I knew that Flying High was rotating behind me, so when I have a mistouch, I don't have to go straight for that ball because I know that Flying High will pick that up. So instead, I'll rotate behind him and not cut rotation here. Because now you're both stuck in the corner, and Stokes can have a good touch to put this on. Again, you kind of cut again. So after that touch, it's easier for Flying High to get there first because he's taking a wider turn. So right there, I would just trust that Flying High is able to touch that ball and get back up behind him. So you guys kind of survived that, luckily. So here, just be ready, because what the optimal thing would be here, Flying High is behind that ball along the wall, and the ball's coming towards you. So if you could turn fast enough and then hit it back to him for a quick 1-2, that would have been crazy. So just work on like fast turns and stuff, because that would have been a really good play for you all. Okay. Another thing I've noticed is that you rely heavily on the hundreds. You were on a perfect path here. Right here. If you just keep driving, you already have 23. If you pick up that 12 and that 12, that's 24 more. So you're sitting right at 50 almost. So you could keep following this ball, have half a tank of boost, and be able to follow that ball and have a touch, maybe even on target. Instead, you bail for the 100 boost, which takes you out of the offensive play. And I would imagine that Orange has the next touch, and well, they should have. So by you going for that 100 boost, you essentially gave up on the offensive possession and gave possession to Orange. A thing that I did when I was in Diamond is in free play, I would just kind of ignore the ball sometime, turn and just follow the boost passes fast. Start slow at first, but then start going faster and faster, just following the different boost paths, and then you'll realize in game that you will naturally just kind of like follow them, which that helps with boost conservation, and being able to keep yourself in the play by not bailing for the 100 boosts. So just something to think of there. That's a whiff. Let's see if we take advantage of it. Great shot placement. A general tip that I kind of have, Sammy Needs was facing forward on the front side of the goal, so any touch on the back side would have been very hard. So my touch would probably try to be in the top left corner. You go top right corner, and he looks like he didn't have a ton of boost anyway, so there's an awkward play. So good job getting it up. The only critique would be start maybe putting those backside behind the goaltender, because that is definitely a tough play. But good shot. All right, good. I liked that you turned back for a goal there just in case. Kind of a tough play there, because here you knew you didn't want to bang it off the sidewall, because that would have centered it. So the only play there is to kind of get behind it a little and instead like push it up the wall. You didn't really have enough time there. So once I know I'm beat, just try to get back post as soon as possible, and you do. Good job there reading this play. Looks like Flying High put in a good spot for you. The only thing that's dangerous here, you know that Stokes can make a play on the ball. So you jumped a little bit early, and that allowed you to not get under the ball. Instead, you got like right at the middle part of the ball to shoot it straight forward towards Flying High. It looked like you were trying to get it to him, which was super smart. You just have to be aware of the defender, because you have to beat him first. So I probably just would have waited a little bit longer to challenge to get this up, or alternatively, you can touch it to the side against the wall and hope it rolls up, and kind of, follow that into like an air dribble or something. So always be aware of the defender and think about what's going to be the easiest way to beat them and the play that sets you up best. So your two plays there were popping it over him or popping it around him, probably to the right. Unfortunately, it goes right to him, and neither of you are able to recover, which leads to a goal. But that happens. All right, a little miscommunication there. Usually left goes, but if you guys figure out something different, whatever works for you all is fine. So just a little hesitation there. As you climb in ranks, people are going to challenge those balls faster and faster. So as soon as you see this ball here, and you see that you and Stokes are about equidistant from the ball, you gotta just be ready to challenge that as soon as you can. So I would recommend just in free play for 5 minutes, just work on fast aerial, doing that over and over again, and then find like either like redirect packs or like defensive clear packs, or like packs where you have to put a pass on target, where you just have to get that quick aerial mechanic down, and hopefully that can become muscle memory soon. This was a good play though. He kind of had a mistouch, and I don't know if this was calculated or if it just kind of got lucky, but you ended up winning this 50, and you have a good play here. I like that you put that off the goal line a little bit and up. Fine High wasn't able to finish, but you had a good challenge there. Just keeping the ball away from them, preventing good scoring opportunities. This one was kind of unlucky a little bit. Let's see. One thing I would do, as soon as, switching to car cam here is fine right now, but as soon as you know that you're on a line to get the boost, I would flip my cam now. You flip, you turn your car, start your dodge, and then turn. Maybe seeing that Stokes was about to challenge this ball and win this 50 a little bit sooner might have put you in a good position. He's won the challenge and you're already going forward, so maybe seeing the ball a little bit sooner would have, allowed you to get yourself in a little bit better position. Again, fast reflexes might help here. If you're able just to get up, you might have to, aerial backwards a little bit to catch up to it. But just having that mechanic to challenge this ball in the air would help. It would be a tough ball. And just working on turning faster. Hit drift and just get to this ball as fast as you can. You'll notice you kind of take a wide, slow turn here, and you don't start hitting boosts until now. So work on turning faster, because you should be able to have turned around by now already and be boosting to the goal line and the post. So it was definitely an awkward play, but I think that was definitely a save that was possible. So kind of an awkward kickoff there. All right, let's go back to this. I'm not mad about that. It's definitely an awkward play, so getting to goal fast was fine. You were in a position to make a play. He has the touch. You win the 50, and it turned into a scoring opportunity. So it looked a little weird, but it was effective. So, boom, baby. All right, good. Smart to kind of play defensive there, because obviously Sammy's going to have the next touch on the ball. So if you dive in, kind of bad things can happen, and it looks that Flying High can kind of force that ball into the corner at least. So good choice there to kind of slow play that a little bit. Okay. Good teamwork there. Hopefully he gets himself in a good position. Here on this, once you realize that you have a lot of momentum going to the back wall, see if you can just keep driving forward and kind of using the ramp to come out the top, kind of like a squishy save. Because this kind of makes it a long and awkward recovery. So like, you actually end up in goal. I'm talking generally here. People end up in goal a lot more than you would expect. So kind of being in free play and just kind of like throwing yourself in there and then recovering out quickly actually kind of is beneficial to do every once in a while. Good read, good shot actually. Holy cow. That's a tough read. Way to get elevated so that ball doesn't get popped up. That's actually really good. Okay, cool. What a lot of diamonds do is they'll boost up here, they'll jump off the wall, and then they'll use their dodge immediately to kind of just slap at the ball. I really liked here that you jumped and air-rolled to kind of flatten out your car to kind of put this on target and follow it. So keep doing that, keep practicing that, because if you can kind of like get better at that mechanic, that'll be very useful at the next rank. And if you can kind of get good at that now, it'll give you an advantage over people for sure. It ended up being a great pass to Flying High, which he wasn't able to convert, but cool scoring chance there. Yeah, so kind of like a 50-50 but between who was going to challenge there. Let's back up. So yeah, it should have been him. I don't know if he went for boost or not. Let's look. He did. So just kind of communicating. Ooh, no. So you had 71 boost and you went to the corner for side boost. So lesson for anyone. If you're the person challenging the ball first on defense, the most important thing for you is just getting there. So Flying High should not have gone. Okay, so he picked up all three side boosts, it looks like. Well, no, he picked up the corner and the corner, where really he could have picked up this corner. And if we look, oh, come on. There's, some boost, some boost he could have followed. You can kind of see him there. The 12 pads that would have led him to the back post. So as soon as you can not rely on 100s, the sooner that you can get over that, the better it will be for you. So just something to consider there. He should have been the first one to the ball. He almost cost his team a goal by not getting there sooner, because if Stokes' shot would have been a little faster and on target, that would have made this a 2-goal game. Good clear there. Again, don't rely on that 100 boost. If you go straight to this ball, you might have the next touch on it. Instead, you kind of took a wide turn, and it didn't allow you to have the best touch possible. Again, it's happening a lot here. Just know that you can turn around and get on a line that will send you to the back post while you're picking up 12 pads. It takes you a couple seconds here to get to the 100 boost, and then you end up getting back on defense a little late. So, had you been playing a little higher caliber team, or if they just had better plays here, they might have get it past Flying High, and then you're not able to be in a position to save. So just something to think about there. Not always relying on the 100 pads. I hope what you were trying to do was pass this up to Flying High. He should know that that's an easy touch for you. All you kind of had to do was either get it between the defenders on the ground, which would have been tough, or you could have boomed it up to him on the wall. Instead, I think you got a little excited and your eyes might have been locked on Sammy Needs here. So that kind of gives the ball straight to him. So in those situations, definitely look for the pass, and it kind of looks like you maybe were. So that's good. In that situation there, just getting used to reading these balls in the corner. I maybe wouldn't have pushed on this so quick, because see how the ball's going up, so you kind of get under it and you get stuck. I would have maybe waited a little bit, so then I could have pushed it up the wall or boomed it. Once you do get in this situation, though, and the ball's coming right here, just kind of catch it, and then you can turn it into a dribble and hopefully flick it over Stokes. Instead, this first touch on the ground puts him in a good opportunity to win a 50. So if you're in this situation, just kind of catch it and dribble it, and you can either dribble it around him or flick it. Good play there. Smart 200 IQ play there. You knew that you could bump him, pick up the boost, bump him again. Very nice. It creates a nice one-on-one, maybe a two-on-one if it could happen a little faster. It was really close. That's a little dangerous. Because chances are you're not going to get that ball past Sammy. And if he has a clean touch on it, Flying High was kind of fallen, so it might create a fast break opportunity for them. So just kind of always be calculating in your head, like, what chance do I actually have to put this on? If you don't have a good chance, just kind of bail and get yourself in a good defensive position, maybe at midfield, and keep it in the offensive zone. All right. So I don't think, I mean, he was in a good spot, but I would have rather you just been able to challenge that ball and then Flying High, rotate around to be in a good center position. But things are going well for you, and you're kind of just in a kill out the clock mode here. So can't really blame you for that. I'm glad you didn't go for that 100. That was a good choice there. I was thinking you might. Good touch, just playing keep away at this point. That's what I like. Good defensive positioning. Don't need to chase that. Let Flying High do his thing. Now you can play a very careful front post. So what I mean by a careful front post, Flying High is not in a position to cover your back. So I'm not going to challenge this ball until A, I know I can get a clear, or B, it's an absolute, like, desperate case, okay? So here, I mean, yeah, I'd challenge at this point because Sammy can put it off the backboard to his teammate, and Flying High is going for side boost. So Flying High, let's back it up. You're fine to challenge here. Fine to go again, but at this point, the ball's past you, can't play it. And even though you're this close to the boost, it doesn't matter. You have to get back on D. So I would, just try to get back as soon as I can. That kind of jump you had put you really close to the side boost, so I get it. But don't get in the habit of missing the clear in the corner and going all the way up to mid boost and then going back post, because it's too long of a rotation. So what you'll want to do instead is, when you're over here, okay, instead of driving to the corner boost and then going back, you can follow this boost path, okay? You can either go 1, 2, 3, or if you're pushed up a little farther, you can go like 1, 2, 3, and then if you have time, 4. So kind of just making that turn earlier and then following the boost paths and picking them up over here instead of going all the way to the mid and then trying to get back on defense. So just kind of something to think about there. Almost out of time. Let's see if anything else happens. Good 50 win there. Can he do it? Very close. Yeah, like normally that's kind of a risky play. But given the situation, that's a win for you anyway. Cool. So good job there. Lots of good stuff. We're going to get this game processing, and then I'll do the next game from Flying High's perspective.